Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. We are back with more visual novel time. Hello to both Twitch and YouTube on this fine and lovely morning of 69 degrees outside. Let's go. All right, so today we are continuing our visual novel experience with both eyes closed. Well, with our eyes open, but the title of the game is Both Eyes Closed. So, before we go, I'm just gonna say I forgot to actually get water, so I'll be right back real quick. Good morning, Rothberry. We'll be right back real quick. I forgot to get water. Give me one moment. Just give me like one moment, real quick. I'm so sorry. One moment, guys. You guys are amazing. I love you. You're amazing. Alright, I am back. So sorry. Thank you for the care package. I just got my water, so we are jumping back in. Just a second. Okay. Oh my goodness. Alright. Sip. Water. Whew. Okay. We might as well play Good Morning. Alright, let's load. Now, our last playthrough was last month, April 18th. We haven't played since because of our computer. We have no memories unlocked. Okay, wait, hold up. I like. Wait, I didn't know this. I love the fact that their chapter 1 is just Night in the Woods. I love that. I really love that. Oh my god. All right. And now we're in chapter 2. All right. You guys ready? Fuck, what did I give their... Why do I always forget their voices? I need to always like look at what their voices are before stream. It's very, very profesh, I believe. Hold up. 1 second. Oh my god. All right. We're good. I don't sleep particularly well. I never really do. Cole's not here anymore, and neither is my phone. I hear him and Issa talking outside, their voices muffled through the tent fabric. Does this look symmetrical to you? I feel like it's off. Yeah, it's good. I think I might redo it. At least they're not arguing anymore. I spot my clothes in the corner, folded into a neat stack. Looks like Cole even thought to order them based on what I'd have to put on first. A clean pair of underwear, my extra pair of pants, and my sweater. It takes some willpower to break free from the warm comfort of the sleeping bag. It really was a good purchase. While I get dressed, I get to sense it's around midday. That's not an unusual time for me to wake up, but they've probably been waiting on me for a while now, especially Issa. The first thing I notice is the cooler missing. I suspect Cole put it back in the van, which means we're probably driving somewhere. Issa's in the camping chair holding her phone up to her face like a mirror. Cole is behind her, facing away with his hands in his pockets, just looking at the trees. Hey, is this symmetrical? She lowers her phone and looks directly at me. Whoa, not even a little. How did you manage that? I don't have a proper mirror. And I mean, just look at my paws. She holds them out in front of her. Phone in her left, stick of eyeliner in her right. They're trembling ever so slightly. Clearly, you weren't born to be a surgeon. Help me fix this, please? All right, sit up straight and hold still. She does as I ask, like she's done many, many times before. I wipe her previous attempt with the cuff of my sleeve. It comes off surprisingly easy. Oh, what's up with with this eyeliner? It's like super chalky. It's some kind of charcoal mix or something better for the environment, I think. Why? Does it look bad? If I get super close, I can see the roots of your fur, but otherwise, it looks fine. I almost thought about getting it tattooed since I wear it literally every day. Just, the process of that. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Issa hands me the small stick of dye. It looks about the same as any old eyeliner pen. It applies a bit lighter though, taking a couple of do-overs to get the deeper parts of her fur. I can't believe Cole thought your first attempt looked even. He probably needs glasses. It looked fine. It's not like it matters anyway. No one's gonna see it other than us. No one other than Max, you mean? Come on. My vision isn't that bad. So you admit it's bad, then? At least a little? Maybe a little. Isa's right eye is far easier than her left. Her signature double point style is still a bit difficult to imitate, but I think I've done a decent job with it. I've had a lot of practice after all. I love doing eyeliner. Something about it is so incredibly satisfying. I wear it myself if I could, but it tends to just blend right into my fur. I know some raccoons and other dark-furred species to wear white eyeliner, but I think that's a bit too loud and high-fashiony for my taste. Not that it doesn't look stunning when done right. I've also got a sort of all black clothing palette going on, like a very, very lazy gothic. The white around my eyes would practically glow. All done. Hold on for just a second. I flipped to the back of the pen and carefully scraped the inner corner of her eye. Eye booger. Oh, good catch. I give her back her pen and rub my own eyes that I'm thinking about it. But I don't feel anything. You ready to go then? Oh, yeah. Where are we going? Fishing. There's a great spot a mile or two down the road where we can get right up to the river. We'll be setting up there for most of the day. I had a lot planned, but we'll have to cut an activity off the schedule since you woke up so late. Oof, I'm gonna drink. I guess that's true. But it's not like he couldn't have woken me up. And the schedule so far is... He counts the activities out on his paw. Well, after fishing, we got lunch, looking for a geocache, orienting, and the last thing was exploring an abandoned outpost if we had time. He raises his left thumb and wiggles all 4 digits of his paw. The outpost will take most time because I don't know the exact location. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It's a firewatch. The thing sticks up a good 50 feet in the air. I don't know how much that is in meters. I roll my eyes. I get the idea. 15 meters, by the way. It'll be cool to save the outpost for tomorrow so that we can keep an eye out for it while we were hiking. If it's close enough, we should have time to check it out. What else are we doing tomorrow? Just hiking, for the most part. I can't say I'm enthusiastic about visiting an abandoned outpost. It seems like a lot of trouble for what will almost certainly be an empty, rotting, heavily vandalized building. All right, let's get going. We got maybe 8 good hours in the day. No breakfast? Girl, we've been up for literally hours. We already ate. And it's not like you want to eat right now anyway, right? Yeah, I don't. You're sitting in the back, by the way. I know you left a mess. Yeah, I did. Issa hops in the back, leaving the passenger seat to me. It takes Cole a minute to squeeze around the van and get to the driver's side door. While he's trying to get in, Issa lays out flat in the back, still looking at her eyeliner with her phone. All her shit is strewn around the back seats and floor, as expected. The seats are covered with a periwinkle towel and a pink shirt. There's a straw sun hat with an excessively huge brim laying on the floor. That seems unnecessary. It's only spring, and certainly not sunny enough to warrant that, even in Memphis. Not like it's in fashion either, at least I think. Issa's picture from yesterday is still on the dashboard. There's another one here that I don't remember her taking. Look at him, he's so eepy. Should have expected that. This one she took while we were driving yesterday. It's entirely blurry. but it's hard to make out anything besides tree. Is that a person? No, no, wait. I'm like looking at it from the side. It looks like a person, but I think that's supposed to be a tree. Well, I'm sure Issa would be glad to get another chance to photograph the river. Hopefully from a more satisfying location than yesterday. Cole finally makes it in with and settles into the driver's seat. He turns the key, which was already in the ignition, and starts up the car. Speaking of yesterday, they're not fighting anymore. Like at all. Hey, did you? Well, I do want to ask. I get the sense it might disturb the peace. Yeah? Never mind. I forgot. I chuckle sheepishly while he gives me a funny look. Okay. Issa, buckle up. With what seatbelt exactly? Oh, right, sorry. He plugs his phone into the cigarette lighter, and I notice mine tucked into the cup holder. He must have plugged mine in to charge when he woke up. Cole flicks through his phone and... Oh, God. Please, no. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, this song is so good. It's folk or country or something. All I know is that it's absolutely volatile to my ears. Please, Max. This song is literally the best. Just like for 5 minutes. I'm begging you. I really don't want to tolerate this at all. Oh. Come on, dude. You seriously can't deal with just one song? Me and Issa both want to hear it. Fine. Just one. I think if you give it a chance, you might like it. It's not holy country. He emphasized holy with air quotes before sliding out the accelerator. It's a good thing he backed in. Trying to back out of the spot looks like a nightmare. I try to block out the music by staring out the window. The road trails next to a steep drop, about 3 or 4 meters. I'm sure there used to be a guardrail here, but the only evidence of that remains is the occasional piece of scrap metal protruding from the ground. It seems a lot less misty than it was yesterday. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. There weren't any projections for rain, but sometimes the humidity is enough to make it foggy. So, if we're going fishing, with me and Issa, will me and Issa be the ones using the rods? While you teach us how to use them? Bingo. Hey, I've used a fishing rod before. Do you remember how to use it? She looks to the side, running her tongue over her teeth through her cheek. A little? Oh, wrong one. A little? Doesn't matter. You're both relatively new. It'll be easiest to teach you guys together. And in all honesty, I've never been big on fishing with rods. I prefer to get into the water and do it au natural. I'm not sure what that means or what you think it means. The water is fucking freezing though. I know. He pats his stomach twice. That's what this is for. Oh, big belly. His arms move to rest on the window frame. I guess if Issa was able to tolerate it, even if it was just her feet, then Cole will be fine. The song ends finally. Another comes on and Cole doesn't make any attempt to stop it. This one's a bit more poppy. It's an upbeat yet hollow sounding guitar, playing what I think is referred to as a line cliche. It sounds like Europop, but also has some Latin influence. I know this song actually. Issa must have asked Cole to download it when he asked us what music we wanted him to have on his phone. I didn't ask for anything, but maybe I should have. Cole notices me staring off into space and stops the music. So, got any ideas on what we're going to make for lunch? I know you said you wanted to make something with only foraged ingredients. Yeah, I'm thinking some kind of soup or stew. Fish can be the main ingredient, obviously, but the rest I'm not sure. We did bring that foraging book, right? Yeah, it's in the back somewhere. Issa? She rolls over and fishes around the well of the seats. After digging for a moment, she tosses the book to me. I suspect she already knew where it was after spending the night in the van. I'm pretty confident in my ability to identify safe and unsafe foods, but this'll come in handy if I come across anything I'm not sure about.
I'll have to improvise. It depends on whatever I can find.
You've always been good at soup. It'll be fine. Fish soup can turn out nasty though. We could try making tritas de pescado. Tritas, what was it? No, did I say it? Tritas de pescado. Yeah, okay. Her accent comes out a little. Wish I could roll my R's. Spanish is such a pretty language. It's too bad I got stuck with French and that horrible guttural sound. Reminds me of turning on the garbage disposal. It's Canadian French too, and I've always sucked at it. Parisians would probably hate me if I ever visited. 1 second, I'm gonna send this to log. My only, other than Castrol, the boy is my only other Canadian. Oh no, Pixel too. I don't think any of them is near an area where it's Canadian French though. You need lime for that. You'd be hard pressed to find a lime tree in Montana. Nah, it tastes fine without lime. I'm sure there's wild green onions around here too.
No onions!
You don't have to eat it, Max. It's just an option.
I'm doing soup. Unless you want to prepare your own food, you're going to eat soup.
And it'll be great.
Yes, it will.
Okay. It was just a suggestion. Jesus. You mentioned something about orienting after lunch. What even is that? It's an outdoor navigation sport. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. It's where you try to find your way to certain checkpoints with just a map and a compass. Ooh, sounds interesting. What checkpoints? Well, since we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, my plan is to drop you off in the woods with a GPS and have you make your way back to camp. Oh, that's too easy. I can just smell my way back. That's cheating. Don't use your nose. It's like cherry.
Cherry?
It's a playground. You never played cherry?
No.
Girl, did you not have a childhood? How have you gone 20 years without even hearing about cherry?
Maybe it has a different name in the US? Explain the rules to me.
Okay, well, whoever was it would count to 10 on the ground while everyone else got up to play on the playground equipment. The person on the ground would walk around with their eyes closed and try to tag someone while yelling cherry every few seconds. If you're on the ground when they called cherry or get touched, you became it. Thinking about my time on the playground, I don't think I've ever heard of anything quite like this. I don't think I've ever heard something like this either, playing as a kid. I mean, yeah, it sounds like Marco Polo, I guess. Not even close. Cherry was the best. I can't believe you never even heard of it. It wasn't that great. You used to climb on top of the pavilion roof, things on the playground, until you fell and broke your leg. It was my ankle, and the moment the cast was off, I was right back on top of those roofs.
I don't think I would have played it. I was more of a sit under a tree and read kind of kid.
Max, with peace and love, you sound like you were a really lame kid.
I kind of was. I would have been the person telling the teacher that you were on top of the playground stuff.
Don't even tell me that. You're ruining our friendship in real time. Cole slows down and turns off-road onto a small dirt path. It's overgrown with grass and just barely wide enough to fit us. My ears flick uncomfortably at the familiar sound of branches scraping against the van's exterior. Luckily, it doesn't last long as the path opens up to a spacious clearing leading right up to the river. The grass transitions to gravel and sand towards the river's edge, with a group of large, dark rocks occupying spots along the bank. There's a plastic bag stuck in a low-hanging tree branch, torn and covered in a layer of thick dirt. I recognize its sun-bleached logo from the grocery store we passed on the way here. As usual, Issa has the side door open before the van even stops moving. Cole parks near the trees on my side this time, but makes sure to leave me enough room to get out. The humidity hits me all at once, an unfamiliar feeling against my fur. It's definitely warmer out than yesterday. Maybe even a little too warm for my hoodie. The clearing is full of old tree stumps, not ancient enough to be decaying, but not brand new either. I can tell someone took great care in carving out this little spot from nature. The sound of the back door opening rings out with a hollow click, followed by a horrid screech. I almost think Cole hit another rock. But it's just the hinge this time. You should probably oil that. I join Cole at the back of the van, and it isn't nearly as organized as I remember it being. All the bungee cords are pushed aside and not really holding anything down.
I hope you put the fishing stuff on top.
I did, actually. The rods are on top right if you want to grab them. Cole reaches over a camouflage bin and grabs a medium-sized box of what I assume to be tackle. The fishing rods are, well, he wasn't lying. He put them at the very top of the pile. I can just barely see the handles sticking out. I reach for them, sticking my arm as far as I can, but I only push them further back. I debate trying to climb for them, but I see Cole looking a little too amused to my left.
Grab them for me?
Without taking his eyes off me, he slowly pulls out one until it's within my reach. I quickly grab it and look away, walking off towards Issa, who's already standing on one of the big rocks. Her shoes are planted at the base of the stone, their heels sunken into the ground. As I approach the river, it becomes apparent just how much wider it is here. Where we were yesterday, I probably could have walked across to the other side, but here it looks deep enough that I'd have to swim. Not that I want to with how fast it's going. It's not that quick, but just fast enough to make me a little uncomfortable. It's so much warmer than it was yesterday.
I was just thinking that. Maybe it's because the fog is gone?
Oh, my butt. Oh, my God. This chair's slowly becoming uncomfortable. Stretch. I think it's the other way around, actually. Issa holds out her hand for my rod, which I reluctantly give her. She slides into a sitting position where she starts playing with the fishing line at the end of the pole. There's no hook on it right now, so I'm not sure what she's doing. Cole comes up behind me and taps my shoulder. Hey, here you go. He holds out the other fishing rod for me. You two need to spread out. If you both fish from the same spot, your lines are going to get tangled. I don't want to deal with that mess.
Ah, okay. I'll move over there then.
There's another big rock to our right, a short way over, and I think it's within talking distance of Issa, but I may have to shout to be heard over the water. That works. I'll get the bait box, so I'll start with yours, Max. Cole places the small navy blue plastic box on the ground and opens its two latches. Inside is an assortment of tropically colored lures and flares. I think that's what they're called anyway. To the left of a divider, there's a few hooks and some extra fishing line.
Do you think the colors actually get the fish's attention or something? Or are they just for show?
They're just for aesthetics, as far as I know. Fish will bite at basically anything. I knew a guy who used tufts of his own fur, and it worked fine. He takes a small green fish model out of the box. It's covered in some sort of shiny coating. There's a ring on its tail with a hook attached, and an empty ring on its belly. He reaches up and tugs it twice on my rod. I'm confused at what he's trying to do at first, but then I realize he needs to get to the end of it, so I lower it.
Oh, sorry.
Can you release some line? It's the big black button at the base of the reel. I fumble with the rod for a moment before finding and pressing it in with a click. You gotta hold it. I push it in and hold it. He pulls out about an arm span worth of line. That's enough. Thanks. He threads the line through the ring at the head of the flare. Lure? Fish. Whatever it's called, and around itself 5 times, and back through the first loop, and once more through the loop that he made. He pulls it until it resists, and then puts the tie in his mouth. He takes a second to look at me and Issa while he holds it in there, then talks with it still in his mouth. What? You got to get it wet, or it's not as strong. Issa yells at him from where she's sitting. Nasty! Just wet it in the river or spit on it. It's fine. He takes it out of his mouth and pulls until it's fully taut. All the loops slide firmly together, snug up against the metal ring. I trust you're not to impale yourself with this, but seriously, don't swing this around. Yeah, I know. That's why you have the indent in your thumb pad. I wasn't swinging anything around. I was just being stupid. That sucked to pull out. He grabs the lever next to the handle and reels the line in as much as he can before letting go of the little fake fish. All right, just hold on, and once I'm done helping Issa, I'll teach y'all how to cast. Hey, Issa! Do you know how to tie a hook on the line? Dude, I can hear you fine. You don't have to be so loud. Oh, sorry. She slides off her rock and walks over to us, holding the rod in the other hand and untwirling the line from around her finger on her other. And yeah, I do. I was just practicing. Sweet. Maybe you know more about this than I thought. Well, tying knots is just about all I know how to do. Was that supposed to be... I didn't mean it in a dirty way. We all get a laugh out of that. That's all right. Here. He holds out an orange fish to Issa. This one looks newer. Maybe 3D printed based on the texture. I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess why wouldn't it be? She takes it from him and follows about the same steps he did, as far as I can tell. Although she spits on it instead of putting it in her mouth before giving it a final tug. Aren't these meant for bigger fish? No idea. They were just the first ones I grabbed. All right then, give me a rod. Casting is probably the hardest part, so just pay attention. Cole takes Issa's rod, since he's already facing her, and climbs to the top of the rock. He lets the hook dangle from about half a meter of the line as we crowded around either side of him. So, what you want to do is toss your rod forward. And as you do that, press the release here to let the line fly through the air without being held back. Cole demonstrates the swing and release timing, tossing the line over his head and landing it roughly in the center of the river. And make sure you hold the button until the line stops moving. Pretty simple. The important thing is that you hit the button at the right time. If you're not careful, the hook will come flying back at you. Easy. I got this. Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. Doesn't seem too difficult. Cole reels the line back in and returns the rod to Issa. She almost hits me in the head with it as she jumps off the rock, trotting back to her own. If you want, I can show you again. I think I got this. I'll let you know. He nods and heads down the rock as well. Oh god. What is this? Oh. Alright, after what distant what's it called? Distant travels. I don't even know anymore if a visual novel has a mini game or not, so I'm just gonna sit down for this one. Close my blind so I can see and be prepared to do a quick time event. I let about half a meter of the line out and hold the fishing rod up over my head. I swing forward and it drops straight down into the rock in front of me. Must have pressed the button a little too late. I reel it back in. Again, I move the rod behind my head and swing it forward. This time, the line gets thrown out to a reasonable distance in front of me. Not too shabby. To my left, Issa has her line in the water, though hers is about twice as far as mine. I'll have to watch how she does it next time as she casts. I turn to look behind me. Cole gives me 2 thumbs up. Okay. Definitely doing this right. Good morning. What VN is this? This is with both eyes closed. Let me pull up the itch.io. 1 second. So, with both eyes closed is a psychological horror visual novel that's being written by Helix Uwu. Basically, a group of friends. Well, yeah, a group of friends travel to a Montana forest for a 3-day camping trip. Mac struggles to manage Cole and Issa's butting heads while also taking notice of the bizarre events unfolding around them. So basically, this visual novel studies heavy and potentially triggering scenes. The novel is intended for a mature audience and discusses adult themes heavily. The novel features small amounts of optional, not safe for work content. That is what it is. How are you liking it so far? I like it. It's cute. Is this Northern Lights, the horror version? I have no idea. I never played Northern Lights. Nor have I seen it. I don't think so. Honestly, maybe? Yeah. Yes. Notification just alert. Oh, what was it? Notification just alerted me. I'm here now. Hi, Bear. Hi, Hermit Bear. Oh, no, Hematite. Hello, Hematite Bear. Welcome, welcome. We're back. We're doing things. And I'm glad the notification alerted you. Remember, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified on more visual novel streams, and such and such and such. Make sure to comment so we get pushed into the algorithm of other visual novel streamers. Yeah, we're doing this. We're streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, just for a heads up for anyone here. Yee. Okay. Let me drink water. My mouth is dry for some reason. Okay, definitely doing this right. Well, now we wait, I guess. This is fishing after all. It really is a nice day out today. I can see the mountains clearly and the sky isn't too gray. I check behind me periodically and see Cole Pet setting up some sort of tripod over the beginnings of a fire pit. I don't know how many fish we'll need to make a proper meal, and Cole can easily out-eat both of us and keep going, so probably 3 or 4. But I'm not sure how big the ones we catch will. I feel my rod twitch a little. Was that a fish? I stay still as stone and wait for anything else to happen. After what feels like an eternity, the line jerks again and is pulled down towards the bottom of the river. I pull back and meet with mild resistance.
Cole, I think I got something.
Okay, hold on. I don't dare take my eyes off the line as it darts left and right. The floating bit disappears underwater as it gets pulled down further. Cole hops up on the rock and pushes himself into me. He puts his paw over mine on the reel. His other goes to the handle again, wrapping around my paw. Okay, press the button again and then start reeling. Don't do it too fast or you could tear the hook right out of the fish. His paw carefully guides mine through the process of reeling the line back in. We pull up on the rod at regular intervals, testing the fish as it tests us back. I start taking the lead as the line creeps its way closer towards us. With one final tug, a small, black fish is lifted out of the water and flaps around in the air. It swings towards me and I awkwardly try to dodge out of the way.
What now? I don't want to touch it.
Don't worry, just hold it right there. He jumps off the rock and runs back to the van, grabs a large metal bucket, and hikes back to me as fast as he can. He gets down on his stomach and lowers the bucket into the river, filling it halfway with water, then stands back up and places the bucket at my feet. Reaching for the fish, he carefully removes it from the hook and slides it into the bucket. With a small splash, he breathes heavily for a second before speaking up. Woo! Nice catch. It's tiny, barely the size of my palm, but the longer I stare, the more I feel like it isn't big enough to eat. Any meat we could get off of it probably wouldn't be worth the effort. I'll get another bucket for Issa. Cole hops off the rock and with a thud heads to the van, leaving me alone with the fish. It stirs in circles around the bucket. Transparent, red clouds spill lazily from its mouth. I see Issa jerk forward in my peripheral view. She braces herself with one foot forward and the other back as her line darts back and forth in the water. V-shaped curtains of water shoot up from where the line intersects the surface of the river, catching sunlight at their apex. Cole! She begins frantically reeling in the line. Based on how hard it looks like she's pulling, this one might actually be big enough to eat.
Slow down, or you're gonna lose the fish.
She doesn't hear me at all, or she's ignoring me.
Cole!
Cole tosses away the bucket he's gotten and drops into the full sprint towards Issa. He jumps on her rock and climbs up next to her. As opposed to wrapping around her like he did with me, he simply grabs the midsection of the fishing rod, holding it steady. Be patient or you'll tear this thing's jaw off. She doesn't listen. Again. As she reels it in, the rod bends and into a gradually steeper angle. Cole tries to take hold of the line itself, but he can't get a grip with Issa's furious reeling. He grabs the top of the rod, which is now bent into an upside-down U shape, and yanks it up in the air. A giant gray-green fish jumps out of the water. It flounders in the air until it swings back and smacks Cole square on the chest. Ugh! Watch it! Cole wraps his arm around it to keep it from swinging. I realize I'm still standing all the way over here, so I put my rod down and pick up the Cole's bucket on my way to the rock. The fish desperately tries to wriggle out of Cole's grasp, but he clutches it firmly to his chest. Once the fish slows its writhing, he loosens his grip and takes the hook out of its mouth. Also, good morning, Akira. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Holy shit, what did you just catch?
Issa takes the fish from Cole by its tail and holds it out in front of her. It's massive. Unlike me, she doesn't seem to mind touching it. Looks like a bass?
I don't know what a bass looks like. Here.
And yes, we're back to the 3 people camping trip. I hold out the bucket for her and she drops it in with a dull clank, its twitching tail sticking out. It's a trout, actually. Cole tugs at his shirt to get it unstuck from his chest. It's covered in green algae and fish slime. But it is at least a C+. Might be a steelhead. I don't know what that means. Is it impressive? Sort of. Fishing is mostly luck. Still, an accomplishment nonetheless. It certainly puts my fish to shame. Poor little guy probably gets bullied by all the bigger fish.
What do we do with it now?
It just auto-saved.
I feel like if I put this on the ground, it's gonna fall over.
Cole extends a paw towards me and I give him the bucket. We kill it and prepare it for soup. Not feeling too bad for my fish now. You know, even if fishing is all luck, it still means I'm the luckiest.
You should take a picture with it for your Insta.
She stares at me. See? This is why we're friends. Here, give it. I should have just given her the bucket in the first place. She grabs the fish out of the bucket, Cole holding it by its tail and holds her arm straight out.
Quick, grab my Polaroid from the car. It's in the back seat. You want a Polaroid for this? Not just like a phone picture?
Yeah. This is getting framed. It'll be funnier this way.
Yeah, if you say so.
Hi, Cup. I run down to the van and see that Issa left the side door open when she got out. The back is open anyway, so I guess it's fine. I find her pink Polaroid camera resting on the flat seats next to her bag and all the other junk. I grab it and jog back. Issa gets into position as I get close.
Do I just click the button on top, or...?
Yep. Make sure you look through the little window.
Ah, got it.
I hold the camera up to my face and look through the little window. She holds the fish up and smiles wide. I try to center her in the image, but maybe I should align it in thirds like she was doing yesterday. I'm not really sure what that means, though. Is it like fitting her into a certain part of the frame? I don't think that applies to this kind of picture. Should I be higher than I am right now or lower? If this was a phone, I could just take more than one. I'll try crouching a little and see if I can get a better...
Dude, just take the damn picture. Click. Hi, Cup. As usual, a little photo rolls out from the dispenser. I pick it off and take a look at it. It's just black, right? It's just black, right? We'll have to see how it turned out later. What should we do with it until then? You want to carry it? She stares at me with a blank expression before holding out a slimy hand. Brilliant idea. Hand it over. I open my mouth, but close it without saying anything. She snorts and put her arm back down. I'm wearing girl shorts anyway. You think I have pockets? Yeah, good point. Oh! Naked Cole! Naked Cole! You done? Nip nops on the bear top. Nip nops on the bear top. Wait, we need. Hold up. There we go. Please tell me it's swapped. Yes! Now it fits. Cole is crouched down by the rock where he left the tackle box. His shirt is laid flat, a rock at each corner, keeping it stretched. He gets up with a pocket knife in his hand. Getting mad Jenna vibes from Issa? Oh no! He gets up with a pocket knife in his hand. That's not really what I'm looking at, though. Booba. I fidget with Issa's camera while he makes his way over. Tempting. Issa passes the fish down to Cole, and he lays it on the rock at chest height. He picks up a small rock and bashes its head. He uses the knife to cut its gills, causing the blood to spurt out. Ugh. It continues twitching for a moment. He lowers the fish into the water and squeezes the blood out into the waves. You know how to gut a fish, right? I do. You want to get started on it then? Okay. He puts it back in his empty bucket and holds it out to me. I quickly tuck the photo into my hoodie pocket so that I can take it from him. He turns to walk back to the tackle box, and I stand there watching him for a second before turning around to head down to the rock. Issa's staring right at me. What? You're hopeless. You know that? I know. I stop by the van first to put the camera back. Then I turn to the makeshift kitchen area that Cole was setting up earlier. Suspended from the tripod-looking device is an aluminum pot that looks pretty new. A plastic tarp is laid out on the ground next to it. On the right side is an assortment of kitchen utensils from Cole's apartment, mainly knives, but also a long flat spoon. He's offered to let me have the set since he never uses them except when we cook together, but I said no because I probably wouldn't use them either. I sit down cross-legged on the tarp and hold the bucket against my stomach. After rolling my sweater sleeves all the way up, I grab the knife closest to me and flip the fish so that it's looking at me. I sink the tip of the knife into its belly, blade facing away from me, and push down the length of the fish. The sensation of the blade gliding through the flesh sends a shiver coursing through my body. It's not a smooth cut. The knife catches on bone and muscle as I descend. The subtle feedback reminds me of the ticking of a clock, only it's felt rather than heard. With one last tick, I reach the tail and the knife comes free. I put the knife down and sink my claws into the cut, grabbing and pulling outwards. I absolutely hate the sensation. The fish's innards spill out to the bottom of the bucket, and the organic squelching echoes around the metal pail before reaching my ears. A string of intestines get caught on my pointer claw, and it only snaps as I pull back, causing a bead of what I hope is only fish blood to fly up and hit my nose. Please don't be poop. I brush my muzzle against my rolled up sleeve to wipe it off. I really don't want to think about it too much. All my clothes will need a good wash when we get home anyway. This is surprisingly graphic. Honestly? Yeah. I head to the nearest thicket to dump the guts. I hold the fish out of the bucket with one hand and awkwardly try to tip the bucket over with my knee. My goal was to have the organs fall into the brush where we wouldn't see them, but they instead spill onto my shoe and roll off into the dirt just in front of the bushes. At least my sneakers are already red and so dirty you wouldn't even know they had chum all over them. I sigh and bring the bucket and gutted fish to the river to rinse it out, along with my paws. Issa's still fishing, which doesn't surprise me considering her earlier success. If I'd pull something that big from the water, I'd be trying to get another too. Hey, it's kind of like gambling. Traditional gambling. She's sitting down now. That does make more sense with how long fishing can take. I'm amazed our fish catch was that fast. I totally forgot about my own catch. Once I wash the last of the slime out of my fur, I make a visit to my bucket to check on it. A small fish is swimming in pathetic circles around the perimeter. Hey, just be happy we aren't eating you. While Issa's catch was a lot bigger, mine is a lot prettier, I think. It's primarily black with a stripe of iridescent gold scales. It almost looks tropical. I don't think I've seen anything quite like it in any book or online. I take the bucket to the shore and tip it over to the ground, allowing the water to flow back into the river. I assume the fish goes with it, though I don't see it go in. Once I refill the bucket with water, I leave it near the rocks on Issa's side since I don't need it anymore. Still, she still doesn't acknowledge my presence, sitting motionless on the rock. It's rare to see her so focused on something, and fishing at that. Cole is swimming around upriver doing his au naturel fishing, as he calls it. His sweatpants are laid out next to his shirt, so he's just wearing his boxers, which are going to be completely soaked. Completely soaked. He dives into the water, going completely under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He emerges with a fish in his mouth. Not as big as a trout as far as I can tell, but it looks like he's having fun. Thank you, Lord, for giving me sexy wet bears on this day. Not that I'm religious or anything. Hey, Cole, I'm going to forage now. Well, okay, don't go too far. Damn, we don't get to see sexy wet Cole in his boxers. Are you kidding? Oh my god, I want to see it. Oh well. I grab my phone from the van's cup holder before heading into the woods. The foraging book is tucked between seats where I left it, but I don't bring it. It's too big to carry and I don't really need it anyway. My mind wanders while I search for edible ingredients. I don't find anything of note nearby, so I try my luck farther in. It's nice to have some time to myself. Feels like I haven't been able to think much during this whole trip so far. I realize I'll be cooking without the usual seasoning available to me. I hope Cole had sense enough to at least bring some salt. There are a few edible plants in the area, but I'm really holding out for some mushrooms. The soup won't feel complete without them. The first ones I come across are suspicious looking. Flat top mushrooms. Flat top mushrooms. No. I can't identify them, so I leave them alone. Next I see, ooh, oyster mushrooms, which would work, but I know they taste seafoody already, and the soup already has fish. I'd prefer something that's better complements the flavor. I shove them into my sweater pocket. Maybe I'll eat them later. Hey! 1 second. Thank you, Binary, for the sub. For the resub. Thank you so much. I hope you stay comfy and cozy in this owl cottage. Oh my god, wait, hold up. We made three we're up to 3:30. Sorry, YouTube side. 1 moment. I have to change this real quick. We are 20 subs away from our next goal, which I am the excitement about because this one will be the one where I ask Gem to play another round of Pokemon Fusion, Infinite Fusion, Soul Link, Nuzlocke. So yeah, keep an eye out for that in the future. Boy can afford to be picking the forest. Honestly, like he can. He can be he can be a little bit picky. Some mushrooms are interesting. The oyster, it makes sense to not use the oyster mushrooms because they do taste like fish. But like I don't know, that flat top mushroom's kind of curious. I spot a mulberry bush, which I'm sure Cole would enjoy, but then I realized I didn't bring anything with me to help carry things back. There's a patch of watercress here. I'll come back for it once I find the right mushrooms. I passed by more oyster mushrooms before finally finding a third type of mushroom. Golden chanterelles. Ooh, those are good. These will go perfectly with the fish soup. I pull up them by the hem of my sweater to form a makeshift pouch. The memory of children's story where a girl does this with her dress unexpectedly popped up into my head. I think she used her skirt to carry dropped rice grains. The moral had something to do with exponential numbers, if I remember correctly. Not sure how that's related, though. I pick out 3 good sized mushrooms and turn around to head back along the way. Also, I just realized I don't think any sound is coming through, even with this, how loud this is. Oh, I didn't notice that. Let's see. Oh, is it an open dyslexic? Deja vu. I can't tell if that's open dyslexic. Is it the wording? Yeah. Hold up. You gotta make the sound louder. Did I lower it manually? No, I didn't. All right. We'll make the sound volume a little bit louder. For once, it's not that loud for me to hear. Return. I don't even think you guys can hear like the actual bird tweeting sounds in the background. I pick out 3 good sized mushrooms and turn around to head back. Along the way, I pick up some watercress and other edible plants. I'm feeling pretty good about how the soup will turn out. Back at the clearing, Cole is out of the water, gutting a fish on the rocks. He has 2 more in the bucket by his feet, including the one from earlier. That makes 4. I'll lean over the tarp and drop the ingredients next to the knives. Hey, where's Issa? She's off gathering wood so we can start cooking. Find anything good? He sets the fish he was working on aside and starts on the next one. Yeah, some mushrooms and a couple of herbs. You don't happen to... you didn't happen to bring salt, did you? I don't think so. Sorry. It's alright. I bring Cole the fish I gutted earlier so that I can rinse out the bucket, fill it with water, and use it to wash the dirt off the ingredients I brought back. I start making a pile with the ones I've washed. I'll need a flat surface to chop these soon. One of the nearby tree stumps should work well enough as a cutting board. Cole has moved on gutting the last fish by the time Issa returns with some branches and of various sizes. She puts them down by the fire pit and turns to me. She has her handbag with her now. Ooh, I see you have a good haul. Yeah, I can make something workable at least. Did you have any more luck with fishing? Not really. I caught one more after you left, but it was so small, I threw it back. Cole got a few. Must have stolen them from me. Understandable. It is all or mostly luck anyways. She turns to Cole, who is now rinsing each freshly gutted fish in the river. I saw him chuck the fish guts into the deeper part of the river earlier. I probably should have done the same. Hey, Cole! He does sort of a half turn while he's crouched down next to the water. Yeah? Where do you keep the newspaper? I'll get this fire started. Oh, it's in the bin with the elk on it. But are you sure? I could take care of it if you give me a second. Nah, I got it. She rummages around the van and returns with a few sheets of newspaper. Can I borrow one of those, actually? Issa doesn't respond, but she does pass me a sheet, and I unfold it over the tree stump. I think she's chewing gum. I empty the dirt water from the bucket and rinse it out once more in the river to put all the freshly rinsed ingredients in and take it to the stump. Issa sets up the branches similar to how Cole did yesterday, but instead of crumpling the newspaper, she ties them into a knot before taking out her lighter. Cole brings me the gutted fish in his bucket while I'm chopping the mushrooms. His fur is still wet and shimmering. It's all yours. Go crazy.
Awesome.
I'm glad he gutted them so I don't have to. Part of me feels sorry to be eating them. I put the cut mushrooms aside and lay the first fish over the newspaper. I'll cut it into fillets. Fillets. Then skin it. Then cut into bite-sized strips. Issa gradually builds the fire up with more kindling until the flames lick the bottom of the overhanging pot.
I know we didn't bring any seasoning for this, but maybe there's some spare salt packets in the car?
That's a reach. Oh, I have one of those novelty hot sauce things. She drives her hand into the bag and, yep, a little bottle of Fuego del Inferno. Salsa picante. I'm eating my words. A little bottle of Fuego del Infernio. Salsa picante, traditional Mexicana, hanging off her keychain.
Whoa! Isn't that like the crazy hot one that made Bailey Fame cry on the Hot Wings show?
It's not that bad. As long as we don't use too much of it, we'll be fine.
You're gonna melt poor Cole's face off.
I know. Honestly, I still can't believe you're actually pretty good at handling spicy stuff.
I used to lick the powder off of Takis before because I liked the citrus flavor. Eventually I got used to it.
You're so weird.
I know. You sure you don't have any salt in there?
Pretty sure.
Well, you might just have some very spicy soup.
Actually, I stop what I'm doing and go to the van and grab my crumpled up bag from the top of the plastic garbage bag and unfurl it. It's filled with all kinds of wrappers, but at the very bottom,
I never thought these would actually be useful.
3 salt packets, 3 pepper packets, and 2 little containers of butter. Clever. Probably not enough to make a dent in the flavor, though.
It'll help a little. Salt can do a lot for a dish.
No, not really.
Well, anyway, it's at least something. A little salt, a little pepper, and some hot sauce.
The butter is actually perfect, too. Now I can saute the mushrooms. Cole has started chopping the herbs on the stump next to mine. He always makes them a little thicker than I like. I take my place next to him and continue with the fish.
You may want to go a little closer on your slices there. The flavor won't disperse properly if they're so thick.
He adjusts and starts cutting the ever so slightly smaller pieces. It's still not nearly enough, but big fat bare hands do not lend themselves well to high precision activities. Whatever, it'll taste fine regardless. Once we have everything chopped, I toss the butter from the packets into the pot along with the mushrooms and 1 packet of salt. Next are the fish strips, followed by the remaining packets of salt and pepper. Cole brings out the filtered water we brought with us, and we pour some in as we add the chopped herbs. Issa adds some of her hot sauce, and we're good to go. How long should it cook for? 10, 15 minutes? She's fidgeting with her phone, setting a timer most likely.
I'd wait a good 30 minutes. A proper stew could go for a few hours, but this is far from a proper stew.
Well, anything y'all want to do while we're here? I'm definitely done with fishing. Seems like Issa is too, judging by her lack of reaction. We can't, leave this here and go do something else, so I guess not? Definitely not. That's a fire hazard. Unless one of us stays here. Why? You got somewhere to be?
No.
All right then. Let's just chill. There really isn't much to do out when there's not an activity. We mostly lie around and make small talk, which I simply do not understand the appeal of. There's no phone service either. I came prepared with music and books and on my phone, but now doesn't seem like the right time to break those out. I do find out what Issa was doing on her phone, watching TikToks she's downloaded. Most of them aren't nonsense, but every so often there's a decent piece of advice or a video she sent to me. Eventually, Issa's phone plays a generic alarm sound. Cole grabs paper bowls and plastic spoons from the trunk, as well as a plastic garbage bag. I forgot to bring a serving ladle. Just use the spoon you used for stirring. That'd take forever. Can we move it somewhere to pour it? Oh, wrong person. That'd take forever. Can we move it somewhere to pour it and somewhere and pour it? You can use the stump. It's a little uneven, so be careful not to spill. He grabs the pot by its handles, unhooking it from the tripod, and stumbling to the stump before gently lowering the pot. Damn, it's hot. He fans his hands out in the air while with a pained expression. Duh. What did you expect, dude? For the plastic handles to be heat resistant or something? It doesn't have plastic handles. Shit. I'm so used to the old ones. That's reasonable. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It was just a bit hot. He alternates between waving his paws in the air and tenderly rubbing them together, applying pressure. Are you sure your paws are okay? Yeah, they're fine. I'm okay. I just want to make sure. Show me. He rolls his head back, recoiling in embarrassment, before haphazardly holding out his paws to me. There are no visible sign of damage to the skin as I look them over, but he breathes in sharply when I touch his paw pads. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he returns a somewhat guilty expression. Yeah, I think we should do something about this. Let me look. I'm literally trained in this. She forces her way next to me and pokes around Cole's hand like I did, eliciting a few gasps and groans from him. Yeah, it's nothing serious. You'll be fine. Can you grab the first aid kit, Max? It's under the driver's seat. And Cole, you should stick your paws in the river. I was just about to suggest that. All right. Issa makes Cole keep his hands submerged in the cool river for several minutes until he complains that the soup is going to get cold. She applies a very small amount of burn cream from the first aid kit, and I have to convince her to use even more even, though I know it doesn't work like magic. The last thing she does is take some white bandage and wrap it around the palm and back of his hand, around the wrist and between the thumb. Shouldn't he dry his hand first? It's fine if it's a little wet. The moisture is good for it. She ties the ends of the bandage at the back of his hands and claps as she steps away. All right, you're all set. Food time. He flexes his hand, getting a feel for the bandage. How's it feel? Better. He sounds dejected, like he's just done something wrong. But now the soup's probably cold. I'm sure it's fine. It's only been sitting for a few minutes. Let's just be careful with the handles. I test the handles with progressively long touches. They're still warm, but not blazing hot. I cover my paws with my sweater sleeve just in case. Issa's already gotten her bowl. Cole is struggling to separate his from the rest of the stack. She crouches and holds the bowl to her lip, to the lip of the pot. The soup is almost spilling over due to the slant stump. I'll try not to pour too quickly. I tip the pot at first and start pouring, then carefully lift it up as the level goes down. It's heavy, and I can't see her bowl from this angle. Tell me when. When? I'm not as careful lowering the pot, and a little soup splashes back up on my sleeve. I really need to wash the sweater. Cole takes Issa's place and holds out the bowl. He has another in his hand, most likely for me. Ugh. This chair. No. Thanks. Stretch. Shake. Wah. And now sip. Cole takes Issa's place and holds out his bowl. He has another in his other hand, most likely for me. Say when. I pour. And stop. I've got another. You can start pouring. Stop. Holy shit. Yeah? I turn and look at Issa as I lower the soup back on the stump. She's absolutely devouring her bowl. Dude, this is fucking amazing. Really? I thought you said it was going to be bland. I was wrong. It's hot. Like, spicy hot. I can see the color drain from Cole's face, his smile faltering slightly. Oh, my poor unseasoned boyfriend. Okay. For those who, I feel like I should just say, like, for those who have boyfriends who can't handle spicy food, call them unseasoned. Just unseasoned boyfriends is what they're called now forever. Ugh. I take my bowl from Cole and bring a spoonful to my mouth. It's not that bad. Kind of spicy, but not unbearable. Unbearable.
It's not too spicy. I can taste it, but it's not unbearable.
You promise?
Maybe just try a small bite to start.
He carefully dips his spoon into the soup, allowing about half of it to drip back into the bowl. Me and Issa both stop to watch as Cole puts the spoon into his mouth. After a moment, he speaks up. I think I can handle it. You already read. Are you banging the bear? I mean, he is our boyfriend. We're not having sex with him, I believe, because I don't think Max is ready for intimate touch just yet. They had, in the previous chapter, which I do appreciate, they had a conversation about like sex and like intimate sex and how he like Cole is so nice. He asked if he was okay or felt ready for more intimate touch since he was in the tent with him. Bang him like you bang the bear in Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate. Oh my god. Honestly, I still gotta play an honor mode, like a full honor mode with that at some point. A warm scarlet had spread over his muzzle. I can tell he's going to start sweating. No, no, I'm okay. He sniffles. Oh, my poor unseasoned boyfriend. It's fucking amazing though. Like, some of the plant stuff is kind of thick, but it's really good. Yeah, that's my bad.
You don't have to keep trying. It's okay.
He's forcing a strong face, but the heat is clearly affecting him. Possibly more than the burns in his paw. I take another spoonful into my mouth. I don't love it, but it's not awful either. Not a huge fan of fish. It's the texture, but this I can tolerate.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Does need more salt, though.
Gotta agree. We finish our bowls. Both me and Issa are impressed that Cole manages to finish his. He's a sputtering engine by the time he's done, though. Takes a few minutes to collect himself and drinks 2 bottles of water before we're ready to move on.
So, what's next again?
Looking for the geocache. If y'all are still down for that, we're cutting it kind of close on time, but we can do orienting afterwards.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
All right, Issa, you ready to go? As long as I don't have to sit in the back again.
I don't have any issues with that. More space for me. So, where'd you hear about this thing anyway? Like a website or something?
The cache? Part of an ARG that's this Twitter account has been running. We're not the first people to look for it. The location was actually discovered a few months ago, but I still want to see it. Apparently, there's still a mystery, but no one's been able to figure it out yet. And I've tried to avoid spoilers.
What's an ARG?
ARG, as in alternate reality game. It's basically a bunch of clues that point you around a bunch of different websites or locations until you reach an end goal. Discord servers are pretty common. You haven't read a book or something that has one? You haven't read a book or something that has one?
Not that I know of. Sounds like a scavenger hunt.
You could think of it that way. Wouldn't be inaccurate. How do you know what an ARG is? He nods his head towards Issa. She's leaning against the door, face pressed against the window.
It's like common knowledge?
Maybe in communities that are used, I would imagine there's a beauty guru ARG or something.
That's not the only thing I'm into.
I mean, I meant it as an example. I guess rave culture might work with the whole aesthetic. I probably just heard the term somewhere and held on to it. Right. Anyway, what are we looking for exactly? The hint said it'll be at the northern end of a bridge. The original riddle was something like follow your compass, look down to look up. So it's... Oh my god, I have hiccups. So it's probably hanging or taped under something. Seems easy enough. Huh. It is sort of strange though, isn't it? An ARG just happening to relate to the forest where Cole's been going for years. And he just happened to find it on the Twitter account hosting it. And no one's stolen the cash yet. I mean, it's common courtesy to just write your name on the paper and then put it back in there. Or put something new in. Like, I feel like that's usual. Like, I've seen a couple ARGs and I have read on some of them. It's common courtesy not to take the full item. Or if you do take an item, you'll leave one in there for someone to find. And then you sign a paper that says you found it. With like a time and date type of thing. It would be cool to do one. But I feel like it could get messy real fast. Depending on the area you are doing the geocache finding in. And we had this trip at just the right time. Interesting chain of good luck happening here, I guess. We drive for about 10 minutes until we approach a rundown bridge extending over a river. Probably the same one we've been seeing. Think this is it? I bet he already knows the answer to that. He's just playing around. He parks the van in the middle of the road and we all hop out. Which side of the bridge did you say it was on? Just look around. These usually aren't too hard to find. I start with what are probably the most obvious spots, just along the railings. Nothing here. Cole checks the side of the bridge. The parts that hang over the river. Issa climbs on the railings and checks a post that sticks up a few meters, higher than any of us could reach. There are rusty steel support beams underneath the bridge. Each one sort of elongated eye shape. If I were hiding something near a bridge, I crouch down and feel around the nearest beam. Sure enough, clink. Oh, is this it? I pull a small canister out from the underside of the metal support beam. It's washed out green with rust, stains, and chips of paint. Cole made it sound like it had only been here for weeks, but it looks like it's been out here for way longer than that. Probably years. I think I found it? What do you mean you think? This looks kind of ancient. It has to have been here for a few years at least. Let me see. I offer it to Cole and he looks over. The latch on top of that, there's a latch at the top of that he fiddles with and it flicks open. And I think we're at the start of the horror part now. What? What are you talking about? I don't think this is where the horror begins. The casing slides off with a horrible scraping sound. Small clouds of orange dust drizzle from the edge. 7 rotating metal wheels each display a letter. They're reminiscent of an old bike combination. It reads, "Touch is." Just like the outside, the inside is relatively atrophied, albeit slightly less so. Someone clearly tried breaking this open. It's covered in dents and scratches. Above the seam, there were 2... Oh, is this a real site? 2 pieces of metal meet... Oh, it's an actual link. Whoa. And the seams where 2 pieces of metal meet, there's a website address. Sounds low budget. They don't even have a real website. Wait. Okay, so I click the link. Oh, wait. So I click the link. It says, Mori and Son Catches is an Illinois-based geocache and lockbox manufacturer. We aim to create innovative lockboxes to be used as geocache. Personal storage or props. Content placed within our containers should Always be purely supplemental. Never place items of high value or importance within our caches. Updates. We are sent to inform our customers after 16 years of service, Mori and Son caches will be closing, effective immediately. Our online customer service will be unavailable going forward. Thank you for your business. Is this a real site? January 12th, 2024. 9-digit cipher caches have been updated and restocked. If you have a defective model, you may return it by contacting our customer service. Are these real? Is this a real thing? Hold up. Hold the phone. Is this real? Is this a real actual website? Hold up. I think they made a real fake site for this. Honestly, that's real cool. Hold up. Let me pull it up so you guys can see it. Both eyes closed. Site. Windows must match. All right. Okay. Yeah, there's like an actual thing for this. Hold up. Let me shrink this real quick for you for a bit. For the information, there's games like there are games like that who do it. That's so cool. I do like it like that. I remember it reminds me of the time where like there are these books, horror books that I used to read as a kid that had links to websites for them, and it's just like also I just realized I'm not using the right overlay for this one. Wait, hold up. There we go. That's with both eyes closed. Let me put that there. All right, let me expand this for you guys real quick. Ooh. What if we find something on the website? Hold up. We're gonna take a hot minute. If they made this for this specifically, we're gonna take a moment. Let's see. October 1st, 2023. All caches 20% off. Perfect for Halloween scavengers and scavengers hunts. Forum is offline. Live cover offline. Online store offline. Quotas, customs offline. So the only thing that's here is updates and the homepage. That's it. What's this? This page was updated March 3rd of 2024. Huh. Neat. That's so cool. Okay, let's turn this off. That's really cool. I love that. I love it when like again, visual novels are just so cool. For the immersion, there are games like that who do like I love the immersion. I forgot what book I was talking about. There was a book that was also an ARG. There was also like the book called The 24 Keys was an ARG book where like it was an actual contest. We did something like that as a promo. You could sign up and get a package, see random things, and join online groups to figure out what's going on. There was that one, and then there was one where like it was basically this kid who like was finding out the mysteries of his hometown, and you would go on his website that he made where you can see videos of him recording like horrifying situations. It was a good horror book that scared the shit out of me. But I played it and I loved it so much. We are gonna pause right here. We're gonna take a 15-minute break. Fuck. Hold up. Back up. Save. We're gonna take a 15-minute break just to use the bathroom. We will be right back after 15 minutes. So just hold on real quick, guys, for me. All right. I'm debating whether or not to leave it over here. We'll leave it over here, and I'll make my VN model disappear. We'll be right back real quick, okay, guys? BRB. Just use the bathroom. Boop. Be right back, guys. Alright. Back. Hopefully that wasn't too long for you guys. This. There we go. I kind of wish there was a way to get rid of the heart thing on the chat. I can see. But yeah. Okay. Back. How was there two? Oh. Weird. Okay. So back in. There's a code here. Do you know what you might want to put in? No idea. I didn't know there'd be a code. I think someone tried solving it before. Well, yeah, that's like the whole point. Touch is touch as touche. It's touche. I wonder what that could mean. Probably just a guess. Might want to write that down somewhere. Maybe they were close. That's a good idea, actually. I'll put it on my phone. So, what do we do with it now? We can't really open it. Should we put it back? Well, do you want to take it with us? What if other people come looking for it? I think it'll be fine if we put it back before we leave. Plus, there's a few things I'd like to try. What do you think, Max? Oh. I mean, if boyfriend Daddy Bear wants to try it, we might as well try it. They use a lot in Illinois, Indiana, and Missouri for geocaching. Ooh. Our first choice. Or our second choice, technically. Okay, let's see. Over it. This will be our second choice that we saved at. Let's take it. I guess we can take it. It doesn't seem like people are actively looking for it anymore, so we should be fine. Awesome. Let's head back then. You can carry it. We all hop back into the van. Issa once again takes the front seat. I'll have to start thinking about possible combinations for it. I hope we can get it open before we... Do I have to remember the other... Wait, hold up. Ugh, pen. I have a shit ton of pens right next to me. I need to use a lot more. Ugh. Let's see. Touche. Touche is one of them. All right. Turn. I wonder what could be inside. Are you dropping us off in the woods on the way back? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And we're just supposed to walk back to camp? I don't really see the point of that. Well, do you have a better idea? Let's race. That'll at least make it more interesting. Race who? Max? And you? I have to drive the van, so I can't participate. Doesn't matter. I'll still race you. You're crazy. And orienting isn't about speed. It's about journey. That's the most interesting part. If you do it right, it should be the shortest part. That's because you're always in a rush, which is also why you're not allowed to drive my car. I've only gotten one ticket. I don't know how you manage that. When I had my permit, I got pulled over at least once a week. You sure it's not because they were looking for an excuse to harass you? Girl, I don't like them either, but in this case, I'm pretty sure it's just because I'm a threat on the road. I'm just a bad driver. I don't know why, I just am. Is it because you're a bottom? Issa! The vehicle swerves before Cole regains control, but not his composure. He can't seem to decide whether to look at the road or Issa. My own laughter catches me off guard as much as it does Cole. Of all things for her to say, that's among the least I expected. What? It's true. Bottoms can't drive. You can't just say that. According to you. Okay, let's make a poll then. Max can't drive, and they're a bottom. I'm a bad driver, according to you, and I'm a bottom, technically. 100% of the bottoms we polled can't drive. This is a severely flawed survey. Well, it seems to be true, so let's run with it. Jesus. He brings his free hand. Jesus is a lie in here. Jesus is canon in this world. He brings his free hand to his forehead, firmly pressing it into the... No, he'll probably be a sheep or a ram. Or a lamb. Sheep, ram, lamb. Is that... Are sheep's ram and... I know rams are different. Are sheeps and lambs the same thing? Huh. Jesus was a sheep, ram, lamb. He brings his free hand to his forehead, firmly pressing into it. We even have evidence that tops are good drivers. Look at how good of a job you're doing down the road. The path in front of us is a straight line. Even I could drive this. And I know for a fact you wouldn't let Max top you, but you wouldn't want that, would you? When did my ears get this hot? I feel like crumpling up into a paper ball. Cole definitely notices. He looks right at me through the rear view mirror. Okay, that's enough. You're getting pushy. Fair enough. You think this is about a mile? Just about. The van slows at the thinning of trees. Looks like it could be a deer trail. Grab the GPS for me. It's in the box with the yellow lid behind you. They step out of the van while I grab it. It's a handheld GPS with rubber grips along the side. Kind of looks like a game controller. Or one of those things your gym teacher would give you to figure out your body fat percentage. It's heavier than it looks, which makes sense since it's probably more than a decade old. I get out of the van. They're both waiting for me just outside the trail. Does it have power? I should have spare batteries if it doesn't. I fidget with it, what I assume is a power button. It comes to life with a short chime, and the battery display shows about 3/4 full. Perfect. Okay, let me show you how it works. He takes the device from me and checks the settings before holding it out and walking forward. There are 4 tones played lowest to highest when walking north, east, south, and west, respectively. It's also displayed on the screen, in case you forget. He adjusts his direction, looking at the sun until it beeps. Then you just orient yourself so that you're heading the right direction. Spoiler, it's west. Make sense? Yep, gimme. As soon as she gets her hands on a GPS, she spins around in circles. You have to walk in one direction for it to work. You're gonna fall over. I don't get dizzy, actually. She stops and stumbles slightly, but does maintain her balance. How she managed this in heels, I don't understand. She's so cunty. My God. Heels while camping? Like, so much mud and dirt here, girl. We're gonna walk a few hundred feet in, spin you around, then you find your way back to the clearing. We'll meet you there. The area is bordered by both the road and the river, so follow either one of those things if you get really confused. Okay, let's do this. I'm going first. Wait a minute. We're going one at a time? Yeah. Otherwise you're just gonna follow me. I look to Cole for confirmation. Oh, you don't have to if you don't want to. It's fine. I just really wasn't prepared that. The area of the wood feels less dense than what we've been around otherwise. Every tree has at least a few meters between each other. It's not all that cramped. This is far enough. Close your eyes and spin around a couple of times. She does a fancy spin on her heels with both eyes closed. I'll never understand how she keeps her mobility in heels. Okay, you don't have to show off that much. Gotta win with style, you know? I'll see y'all in about 10 minutes, assuming I don't get back first. Girl, you're not that fast. Go ahead then. We'll go back to the car once you're out of sight so you don't get any hints. As if where you're standing doesn't already give it away. See ya. And she's off. I hear the GPS beep twice before she's out of sight. You know, she might actually beat us there. Maybe if she's running? It's like a 5-minute drive, right? That's probably 20 minutes in walk. He doesn't say anything. For about a minute, we drive in silence. Hey, you know I don't actually think what Issa was saying, right? About bottoms not being able to drive? About not letting you top? If you wanted to. No, I don't want to, I think. The door's always open. Thanks for talking to Issa. I don't know what you said, but you both seem a lot more amicable. Yeah, of course. We weren't on the greatest terms the last time we talked. This again. And why's that? Oh, I mean, I guess we were just edgier then? They both keep saying that most nondescript things, and the more I hear it, the less true it seems. Is that really the reason? He sighs. We were both going through a rough time as a whole, and we weren't handling it well. It wasn't anything serious. I don't want this to be some big thing. I was angry and frustrated. Issa was too. It was just after my dad died I was miserable. She wasn't doing great either. We were both suffering and we weren't handling it well. That's better, but still. Why stay friends then? I mean, it seems like you guys couldn't stand each other yesterday. We got along fine when we were texting. Most of our conversations were just sending each other random videos or whatever. And, well, think of it this way. When you're fighting with someone or just in a relationship, it's like you're both holding onto a rubber band. As you lean further away, the tension of the band increases. If you just let go, it snaps at the person and you fall backwards. But if you lean towards the person and you take some stress off, at some point, you're both able to let go without falling or the band snapping at either of you. I don't want to hurt her, and she didn't want to hurt me. By preserving our friendship, we're able to apologize and not leave the other person feeling inadequate. I don't want Issa to feel like I abandoned her because she did something wrong, you know? It wasn't a one-sided issue. Sounds like rest energy. Rest energy? Pretty much exactly what you just explained. It's an art piece. He's explained this all in such an elegant way. He clearly thought about this a lot. Point is, we are both trying to be better people. And Issa's a pretty awesome person. That she is. Alright. Let me double check on the main stream. There we go. That's good. Still running. As we pull around the clearing and exit the car, I'm reminded the mess we left behind. We should clean up for lunch. I don't want anything to get... Oh, wrong person. We should clean up our lunch. I don't want anything to get blown away or whatever. It's not windy enough for us to lose anything here, but... You're right. You are right. Let's... Bitch, I know I almost beat you here. Issa walks out of the clearing, carrying her shoes in one hand. Careful, you're gonna step in the fish guts, which aren't there anymore? She checks below her feet before continuing to walk towards us. Step in what? Please don't tell me you just pissed there or something. No, I would have peed in the river. That's where I dumped our fish guts, but I guess one of you threw them further in or something? Cole and Issa exchange glances. I didn't touch them. Something probably came and ate them. It's literally a forest. There are literally wolves out there. There are wolves? Probably. But they're not aggressive. Most more scared of us than we are of them.
Still not exactly reassuring.
Dude, they're literally just wild dogs. Throw rocks at them. Don't do that. Just ignore them and keep walking. They won't bother us as long as we don't bother them. They're like deer, but sharper. But I still don't like them. So, bears, foxes, and raccoons are furrified. But deers and wolves aren't. And I'm guessing some birds. Okay. Cole hesitates a bit. Do you still want to try finding where you're back alone? We could go with you if you'd like.
I think that kind of ruins the point. I'll give it a shot. Maybe a little closer, though.
I mean, the odds of actually seeing a wild animal at all are quite low. I haven't even seen a rabbit yet. Timid things. Rabbits, deers, and wolves. You want to try beating my time?
You timed yourself?
She takes out her phone and holds it out to me. 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Wow, not bad at all.
Nope, I'm not beating that. I'd be lucky to have a time double that.
Boring. I wasn't even running, and you're starting closer. It might be nice to have a walk alone. You still remember how this works? He hands the GPS to me. Still as heavy before. Its power bar is lower, but still half full, so nothing to worry about.
Girl, it's literally so simple. Dude, it's basically a toy.
A yes would have been fine. I close my eyes and start spinning like Issa had.
Okay, that's enough. Stop.
No, keep going. Spin, Max, spin. I spin around another 2 or 3 times before stopping and stumbling as I open my eyes.
There's not that much reason to do this. It only takes a second to find West.
Yeah, but seeing people get dizzy and fall over is funny. And you're cute.
You're pretty cute when you threw up on that tire swing.
You what? I'll tell you about it on the ride back. It's not that interesting of a story. They start leaving, walking towards where I assume we came from. They've already forgotten that they're supposed to wait for me to leave. I'm not looking forward to attempting a U-turn on. He fades out. Time to get orientated. Never. Eat. Soggy. What? Waffles? That's easy enough. As I begin walking, I get the sense I'm being followed, but every time I check, there's nothing. Clearly paranoia. The lack of wildlife kind of creeps me out. It might be nice to see an animal. Maybe not a wolf, but a deer would be cool. Or a wild raccoon. Okay, so they're kind of freaky, actually. Uncanny valley sort of thing. I wonder how other species feel seeing their evolutionary ancestors in zoos. Oh, okay, so all furries are evolved versions of their animal selves, and their animal selves are still in here, canon. That is interesting. The forest thins as I continue. Pines mainly. Just like before, but here I'm seeing some of what looks to be birch trees. Papery white bark peeling off spiraling trunks. Maybe I could take some and glue it to my notebook. I could turn it into one of those everything scrapbooks. There's something satisfying about how thick those turn out, full of life. I tried tearing some off the tree, but it's far more brittle than it appears. It basically disintegrates.
Huh.
Was worth a shot. After some more walking, I realized I haven't heard the GPS go off in the past few minutes. Feels like I should be almost there by now. I checked the screen and it shows I'm still going in the right direction. According to my phone, it's been nearly 20 minutes. That's really odd, actually. After thinking for a moment, I decide it's best to reset myself. I close my eyes and spin around a few times. Once I start walking again, I follow the GPS that indicates as west. It seems like the same direction, but it still feels off. What's going on here? Okay, Max, let's focus. What can you hear? Rustling leaves? Wind? The river! I hone in on it. Following it should lead me to... Well, it's been kind of a mess selling the houses. My dad's did a pretty shitty... Sounds like I was right. Made it! Issa's crouching on the ground, resting her phone on her thighs. You were nearly 2 minutes slower than me. Honestly, you really could have made that. I almost ran near the end. I was worried I was going the wrong way or something. Wait, did you say 2 minutes? Yeah. Your final time was 10 minutes and 4 seconds. From when we started driving, at least. I could have sworn... Not bad on time at all. Well, I guess not. Seems like Issa and Cole finished cleaning and packed everything back in the van. It would be about time to leave, wouldn't it? Between being dropped in the forest and getting back here, that didn't feel like 10 minutes. We have more time than I expected, but it's getting late. Y'all ready to head back? Fuck yes, we were drinking tonight, yeah? Unless you want to save them for tomorrow. I was kind of hoping to wait for the sky to be clear, but it seems like we're perpetually unlucky. Yeah, it looks like we're going to miss the stars. It's supposed to be cloudy tomorrow, too. I was really hoping it would stay clear tonight. He sounded pretty defeated. I know that was something he was really looking forward to. Partially for my sake. There's always next time. So there's going to be a next time? His excitement is immediate and palpable. I can't help but smile, but I almost regret saying anything since I know his mind is going to run with this. I mean, if you want to come back. Of course, maybe during the fall. Let's plan this when we're back home. Gotta keep him in line. Fair enough. We got a 6-pack waiting in the car. Let's get back to our spot and bust them open. Sounds like a plan. They're both far more eager to get into the car than I am. Though I guess I did just rile up Cole. And we've just promised Issa supervised intoxication. Jeez. It really did fog up. The mist from yesterday seemed to have crept back in. Maybe that's just how it gets in the evening? I noticed it a little back at the bridge, but since then it's really thickened. Cole's finishing packing up a few stray boxes. It seems like when they packed everything back in, they didn't do it as neatly as they had the first time. A few boxes stick out of place, bulging against the trunk that Cole is trying to figure out how to shut. Hey, can I have the picture from earlier? Picture? Oh, yeah, of course. I dig around in my pocket. I only feel mushrooms? Maybe it was in the other one. No. Are you sure you gave it to me? I don't have it. Bitch, I'm positive you had it. Okay, but I don't have it. She sighs and starts picking at her nails. Whatever, dude. We really should have taken another picture on my phone or something. That's weird. Well, that's what I suggested. Yeah, and you lost the picture. So, not my fault. Should have expected that you are a Taurus. Yeah, I'm not interested in engaging with her crummy attitude right now. It's just a picture. Is it really that big of a... Why was there mushrooms in our pocket? We didn't put any in our pocket. Cole slides into the driver's seat, shutting the door as he buckles himself in. Aren't you a Taurus? I'm a Leo sun, Taurus moon, not the same thing. Okay, explain the differences then. As he accelerates, we roll over a bump. Between the now familiar sound of clicking plastic from the boxes behind us, I can make out the rattle of Issa's mess slipping between the car seats. Taurus suns are like consistent sloths. Taurus moons are all about luxury. That does check out. How about Cancers? We're all about being comfortable, right? Don't tell me you actually believe this shit. Ha! Not really, but I do think it's fun to just play with. Like, Cole, no, don't play with Ouija boards. Bitch, you've been playing with Ouija boards? I mean, sure, why not? I don't really... Stop. You're just asking to die a horrible young death. Jesus, that's grim. Cole lets up on the gas for a moment and the car slows down. Issa coughs as he accelerates, sending much of Issa's mess back between the car seats. Gotta stop doing that. Anyways, cancers, they're like moms basically, maternal energy and whatnot. Lots of intuition. They tend to cry a lot. I'm pretty sure I've seen Cole tear up at those wine ads with sad dogs, but he's pretty good at hiding it. Ha! Motherly energy. I feel him glance at me, and I make an effort to glance back, but I'm too busy trying to pick up the brushes and coins and whatever else just fell between the seats. One of those flat brushes, a wrapped tampon, a cigarette butt. At least she's not littering again. Yeah, I can see that. Sort of overbearing, always planning ahead, things of the nature. I pinch something thin and sharp. Cardstock? Between my fingers. A card. The tower. It's new, but the corner is now blunt and folded inwards. You brought tarot cards? Why are you going through my stuff? She pivots around in her seat to investigate, her seatbelt clicking in protest as it runs out of the length. I'm not. A bunch of your stuff fell between the seats. I've just been taking it out. You kind of left it all out laying here. Yeah, okay, whatever. Ooh, can you give us a reading? It's been so long since I've gotten one. I always get that ASMR feeling when people do them. Dude, they're random. Anything they predict is purposely vague, so you can apply them to anything. Yeah, I know. I just think they're fun. What made you such a stick in the mud? I don't know. Probably the way that things like this are used to exploit vulnerable people trying to find out closure with dead loved ones. It's probably one of the biggest forms of blatant exploitation in the modern West. It's fucking unethical. Okay, but we're not contacting a dead person. So like, what's the issue? It's the principle. Yeah, but... Max, if you don't want to participate in this, then we don't. Then we won't. Issa's scowling at him again, like yesterday. As much as I'm against this, maybe it's best to try and keep the peace. I think back to what Cole said earlier about the rubber band thing. No, it's fine. If you want to do it, then go ahead. You sure? They literally just said they were sure. He keeps staring at me through the mirror. Yeah, I'm sure. Beneath the sounds of hollow music from the car speaker, silence begins pulling into the car. What kind of beer did you get? The one that was closest to the cashier. Oh my god, they're not gonna ID you just because you took longer to pick your drink. Yeah, I know. I'm still nervous though. What's the worst that can happen? You'll be like 21 in like a few weeks, right? It's not like they're gonna call your... Maybe I don't need to be drunk right now. Maybe I don't need to be drunk right now. Yeah, but they'll see your short ass and think he's buying alcohol for minors. I don't look that young. Sure, but you don't look like you're 20 either. More in the 17, 19 range, I'd say. There's barely a difference. That's legal drinking age in Canada. You know that. I've literally heard you say that one of the reasons you transferred to Quebec was because the drinking age was 18. Oh, trust me, it was. Clearly I'm not as versed in drinking as y'all, but I'm pretty sure it was something cream flavored. I know you aren't a huge fan of alcohol bitterness. He sucks in a breath. But I don't want either of you to be mice girl drunk off Pink Whitney. Oh please, you're the lightweight here. You don't even start with that. The tire swing incident is proof of that. I'm not a lightweight. I just get dizzy easily. Now I'm trying to get him to look at me through the mirror. The insides of his ears are glowing. I mean, to be fair, we were pushing its limits. If you didn't barf, we probably would have brought the tree down. That would have been much worse. I still don't forgive you for vomiting on me, though. Ruined one of my favorite sweaters. Luckily, it wasn't this one. I stretched my sweater out in front of me, checking the worn but still intact marking on the front. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. It'd be fine after a wash. Yeah, but I'd never be able to wear it without thinking about it. We slowed down. We're already at the campsite again, and I hadn't realized we were this close. My sense of time still feels messed up. The drinks have been sitting in the cooler, by the way, so they'll be cold. Is it going to be a time thing? Why is my mouth dry? I met with a crisp breeze. I met with a crisp breeze when I opened my door. I'm fairly used to it, but it catches me off guard with just how cold it's gotten. Whoa, we don't even need the cooler for these to be cold. Yep, let's go to the tent. Between the temperature and the wind, yeah. Isa, can you grab the beer? Again, in the cooler, right at the front. While she's doing that, I'll clean up the inside of the tent. Not that there's much to actually move. Aside from pushing the sleeping bag to one wall of the tent is empty. Some of my loose fur scattered on the floor. I can't believe Cole fits in here. Cole squeezes in, zipping the door behind them. I can barely believe it either. Yeah, barely. It never gets old, does it? I've been thinking that joke since before I knew you. Issa's holding a bottle on her lap, wedging her key under the bottle cap to force it open. It's a generic brand labeled cream vanilla ale. The cap flies off and she spills a little of the drink on herself, but the bottle remains in one piece, which is the main concern. Cole crawls over and grabs 2 of the remaining 5 in the 6-pack, holding them by the neck between his fingers. Can you do the arm thing? He just smirks as he pushes the bottle into his forearm and quickly twists the cap right off. Thank you. I take the bottle from him. I really hope this is tolerable. It's bitter. Not nearly as bad as Hennessy or vodka, but certainly potent. The vanilla is almost impossible to taste, hidden beneath layers of cream and a bit of fruity flavor. It's not terrible, but I don't like it. That's how I feel about most alcohol. You drink it for the effects, not the flavor. I drink it for the flavor, not the effects. You like it? It's all right. Issa already has finished her bottle and is opening her second. Okay, you need to slow down. I know how much I can handle. It's fine. If you say so. Guessing based on our tolerance, I'll probably drink 2. Issa will have 3. Cole will have 1. This is, of course, assuming we're divvying up drinks to get everyone equally intoxicated, which seems fair to me. It does seem to have a higher alcohol content than I expected. It looks like something light based on the packaging, but the flavor suggests otherwise. Give me a minute to prepare the deck, and then we can start the reading. She pours the cards out from the sleeve into her paw, where she then begins cutting and shuffling the deck. Are you just going to do a regular reading or the other kind? Yep, California Tarot this time. What's that? I've heard of this before. It's a modified form of tarot. It's a version that was created to sell, basically. How's it different from a regular tarot reading? It's not super different. Cards just kind of have different meanings. It's a little complicated to explain. It'll ruin the magic. Yeah, definitely far from legitimate. I don't agree with this guy. I also do tarot readings, and I have a shit ton of cards. Who wants to go first? Either Cole and I volunteer. We're both looking between each other and Issa. Max? You heard me in the car. All right. Cole first then. Ooh. Issa folds the deck a few more times, and I can see the unbent cards catching on the dented corner of the card I pulled from between the seats. She fans the card out with both her hands, holding them out to Cole. Pick 3. He carefully picks one from the left, one from the middle, and one from the right. She takes the cards and lays them face down in a row on the floor. Pick 3 more. What were the first 3 for then? You'll see. Cole pulls 3 more cards, this time all at once from the middle. She takes them and puts the rest of the cards inside. The first 3 cards you pick are influenced by spirits. They give you readings that aren't accurate and try to steer you down the wrong path. You're also feeling pressure to pick the right cards. You aren't going with the flow, you know? That sounds like bullshit. This time she lays them out face up. The Chariot, the Hermit, the World. Ah, cool. The World. That's like one of the romantic ones, isn't it? He nudges me. Maybe. It's also not necessarily a good thing. Oh, what does it mean then? We're getting to that. Let's start from the beginning. Issa lifts one of her face-down cards up to her. Didn't you say that the point of those cards was to discard them? These cards show the influence of other powers. I need to know how they're trying to influence you to fully understand your situation. What does it say? I can't tell you that. Anyways, the chariot, it's upright. You're going to utilize your power. You're going to use your power against others. Seems like it has a relation with protecting someone or something. Well, you got nothing to worry about. He nudges me again. You're missing the fact that it implies I'll be in danger in the first place. That is pretty spooky. That's just Kali Tarot. Strictly positive readings aren't super common. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what to expect so you know how to deal with it. So, they're as broad as possible to cast the biggest net. Moving on. The Hermit. It's upside down, and you pulled it second. This represents isolation. I think it's isolation that's out of your control too. Negative powers want you alone. She flips the card up at her like before. The World. She lifts the last card. It's also upside down. Well, that's as clear as day. You'll help someone else at your own expense. Or theirs. Either way, you already do that to an annoying degree, so it's basically bound to happen eventually. The whole problem with this shit, though, it's so vague. Everything it predicts could apply to anything. I hate to say it again, but that's very Taurus of you to say. Come on, it's just for fun. I don't really believe in any of this. You should. Just wait. You'll see. Yeah, right. Well, if you don't want a reading, I'll do my own. Lisa picks out her cards just like Cole did, a bit much faster. She clearly knows what she's doing. The Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, the Emperor. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't think I've gotten anything quite like this before. What does? I'm getting to it. He pauses and examines each face-down card. So we can't look at the cards, but you can? Yep. Because I'm trained in the art of tarot. I passed my deck through the elements and power of divination. The Wheel of Fortune and its reverse. It appears to mean a risk I take is going to pan out poorly. Seems like the risk is going to be something trivial. It won't be obvious. The Moon means I'm going to shed light on an area of darkness. The affected card isn't giving me clues, so that could mean anything. The Emperor means that I'm going to put myself first above others. Now, I could have predicted that. That felt a bit pointed. Issa clears her throat. Well, unless you change your mind, we're done with this. Unless you wanted a palm reading. Absolutely not. Yes, please. I don't pay much attention to the palm reading. Focus instead on finishing my first and second bottle. The more I drink, the more I'm able to tolerate it. This feels stronger than usual. Maybe it's been a while since I've last drank, or I'm just exhausted. I don't notice when Issa leaves, or that Cole goes to throw out the bottles until he comes back into the tent. Max? Yeah? You sleeping? Not yet. You want to talk? He pushes his way into the sleeping bag with me. When did I even get here? What about? You know I like you a lot, right? What? Yeah, of course. Why? I'm just making sure. You're weird. I know. Sorry, You what? I honestly forgot. I'm just kind of tired right now. He settles into the ground, almost like he was expecting to get up before. He's just sort of looking at me. I feel like he's waiting for something. Do you want me to, right now? No, you're drunk. I'm not that drunk. Drunk enough. And I don't trust your coordination. You already struggled sober. I'm not that bad. I was bleeding last time. He chuckles through his words. You barely nicked me. Sharp teeth, it happens. You're new to this. I get it. We both stir in the silence while it lasts. I'm really hoping Cole doesn't, but I like how you look. You don't have to be embarrassed about it. I know I do. I want to I didn't ask you to. I want to reciprocate. I didn't ask you to. That was a bit louder than I intended. I'm just figuring it out, okay? I know. I just want to understand. Is it a non-binary thing or an auto? I called the autism thing like in the last one. Is it a non-binary thing or an autism thing? Am I doing something wrong? Of course not. I really appreciate how patient you've been. I just don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm worried about you. Sometimes I get the feeling this is a deeper issue. Cole, I promise you it isn't. I'm just weird like this. You're not weird. I know. I'm back in Montreal, in my childhood home, my parents' apartment. I'm in a quaint, worn room filled with the evidence of childhood. My my brother's beds sit next to each other with their similarly shaded lime and teal comforters. There's a lump under my covers. My brother's bed is empty. The only light in the room comes from a small crack under the bedroom door. I look out the window, expecting to see a familiar alleyway and concrete wall of the apartment building next to ours, but instead, it's almost pitch black. If I really squint, I can make out what appears to be a thin lining of pole trees? No, not trees, but something long that sprouts from the ground, like fingers reaching towards the sky. Next to the window is a picture frame hanging on the wall. It has a photo of our family. I look a few years younger. I don't remember this picture ever being taken. Several loud voices are talking outside the room. Their words are. I hear like a low rumbling. Several loud voices are talking right outside the room. The words are distinct yet somehow muffled. I'm having difficulty processing their meaning. It feels like my brain is in a fog. It's warm, uncomfortably so. I look back at my bed. The covers are off and I'm sitting up, looking right at myself. A memory, the last time, is now viewable through the menu. Let's read it now. The last time. This story contains not safe for work content. Ooh. I will keep the not safe for work content, but I will use the cover dog. Continue with imagery. Hold on, why does she keep changing ages? Didn't the witch make her old? I can't tell you yet. It's spoiled too much. If you don't explain it to me, I'm going to be confused for the rest of the movie. Okay, well, my interpretation is that Sophie looks as old as she feels, and he's making soul, she's feeling young again. I guess that makes sense. Seems like a crummy curse. It worked differently in the book, but honestly, the book kind of sucks. Max is fidgeting with her hands in my lap. Wait, is this Cole? Max is fidgeting with her hands in my lap, picking at the skin around their pointer fingernail. I grab their hands and hold them in mine. This was something they requested. I'd help them quit. The relentless picking. I suggested that bitter nail polish weeks ago to prevent the biting, but they were certain they'd just get used to the flavor. I used to lick the back of game cartridges, they said. So many odd quirks. It's strange how I find them endearing on Max, but offensive on anyone else. I wonder if Max would like it if I was more like the hero of this movie. Stoic, charming, maybe a little bit flirtier, even? He's also been a giant brat repeatedly. I don't understand this plot. I'm lost and confused, but Max keeps looking back at me, trying to gauge my reaction. It's cute. It's romance, but also fantasy. It kind of feels like it's been all over the place. A romantic fantasy? Fuck, I'm stupid. What kind of partner invites himself over for a romantic movie after a literal steak and chicken dinner without any other intentions? I'm overthinking. Am I? Yes, I am. I slide a paw against Max's side, gently rubbing. They flinch, but then slowly melt back into me. Instinctually, I bring my paw up to their chest. They're still not saying anything, and they haven't looked back at me since I started. Is this okay? I hear them swallow. I think so. Is that a yes? Yes. I know you don't usually like light touches. It's a little unusual, but I don't mind this. Do you want me to keep going? Please, 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 please. Yes. They turn their head up to look at me again. I'm struggling to contain my smile. I push their shirt up just a tad with my other paw. The fur gets thin here. The pink of their belly shining through. It's softer too. How's this? I I think I like to keep my shirt on. Of course. Yeah, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But please continue. Fuck yes. Their back is pressed against my dick. Maybe it's just because we've waited such a long time to do anything sexually, but this is the horniest I've ever been. I started lightly dragging my claws over Max's side. Their response is electric. I can feel their fur stand on end and they tense up. Just touch, just touch sensitive. Sorry. I stop entirely. It's okay. Was that too much? Actually, I kind of liked it. Whatever blood was left in my brain just rushed downstairs. You mean like this? I do it again. They whine again. How does that feel? It's just really different. They pause between each word, like they're picking out the right thing to say. It's like the feeling when you try to push the two repelling ends of a magnet against each other. But you like it? I think so. What about this? I reach up and gently squeeze one of their nipples. That doesn't really feel like anything. What about my other hand? I start tracing their collarbone. I like that. I pull them up by their armpits and bringing their head off my stomach and instead nestled in my neck. I bite their ear gently. You're a lot better at this than me. It's a, it's a compliment built on ignorance. I've only had 2 partners before this, but God, does it still go straight to my dick. Do you like that, or is this too much? Yes. Yes? I like it. Your heart is racing. I'm excited and a little nervous. My eyes trail down. The blanket that once was covering our lower halves is now teetering off the edge of the couch. Though through their underwear, Max is painfully and obviously hard. Do you want me to jerk you off? Their breathing hitches. No. Do you, can I? I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Max, I would fucking love that. Can we go to my bedroom? I would prefer that. Is there an image that's gonna pop up? Why is it in black and white? It's also deadly silent, which I don't know. I get this is like they're going to be like this is one of their first times being intimate, and I'm just why it feels silent. It feels awkward, and I get that. If you want, well, it's up to you guys. If you want to stay for this portion, I will read it out. If there's anything not safe for work, as in like imagery, I will put up the not safe for work, not safe for work scare amicus. But I'm going to say this right now. From here on out, from this point on until I'm going to put this in the chat so I can see it. I will type back in chat when it's safe to come back to the call if you guys don't want to hear it, or at least mute it. It's up to you guys. So yeah, just a heads up and warning for those who are still watching. If you don't want to hear this, you can mute me until I type in the chat again that says to come back if you want. All right? This is your last warning, and I will also turn on the AC because it's starting to get warm in this room. Man, and I wanted to do this with more people. Ugh. We'll probably do another one with more people. All right. My clothes are barely mm, my clothes are off before I'm through the door, and a string of Pri is holding onto my underwear in the hall. Max is violently red and looking at the ceiling. You're really cute. You can look. I know, it's just different. They're still fully clothed. You don't have to be naked if you don't want to, but I'd really like it if you join me. I'm not sure. If you're not sure, then don't. They're blushing, but slowly looking down at me now. Okay. I sit down on my bed and gesture for Max to come towards me. They step in, cautiously, and I wrap my hand around the small of their back and pulling them towards me. We kiss for a long time. Max steps away and puts a paw on my dick. I twitch in response, and it feels good. Feels amazing. It looks amazing too. I've got to calm down. I'm realizing that the issue I had with my first girlfriend, a cat, might also be an issue here. Bears are large. Cats, and more importantly, raccoons, are not. As far as I'm aware, I'm above average for a bear, but that's still significantly larger than average. Are raccoons marsupials? Doesn't matter right now. I don't expect you to just take whatever pace. I don't expect you to. That's a long string. Yeah. I don't expect you to just take whatever pace works best for you. What do you mean? I mean, bears are large. They don't say anything for a second. I think they're measuring me. Not that large. I'm still pretty. They start moving their paw to the underside, then lower, cupping the balls. They lower themselves to their knees, using my thighs as support. Hold on just a second. I push myself further back on the bed, enough that I can lay down with only my calves off the sides. Max shouldn't have to kneel if I'm laying like this. All right, whenever you're ready. And this is when we're going to put the screen up. Yep, right timing. Perfect time. Damn, perfect timing. If you want to play this game on your own and see the not safe for work art, you can. You just have to go on their website and play it yourself. But for now, this is when the censorship starts. They tentatively lean in, putting their paws on my thighs as they do. God, they look wonderful. Max puts a paw on it, angling it downward and towards themselves. They lick the tip, lapping up the bead of Pri in the process. I feel kind of silly. I'm giddy even though this is far from the first time I've done this. Chills go up my spine each time they touch me. I bring my paw to their face, gently holding their cheek. Is this right? It's amazing. They crack a bit of a smile, the kind of goofy kind, the kind of goofy kind, the kind that I like. I've given them some confidence as when Max reassures, they take my entire head into their mouth. I croak out a groan. Pace yourself. You don't have to swallow the whole thing. I don't think I could. I'm not gonna try. They swallow again, still only the head, but it's amazing. Jesus, Max, you're wonderful. You're beautiful. Ugh! Max suddenly pulls away from me, dragging one of their canines along the bottom of my dick. I can't see it, but I know I'm bleeding. I'm sorry. I need to go to the bathroom. They run out the room before I'm able to say anything, slamming the bedroom door behind them. There's a small cut on the bottom side of my head, just along the ridge where it ends. Globs of blood are dripping down. Fuck, that stings. What just happened? The first thing I do is grab a tissue from the bed and stand next to me, holding it against my now rapidly softening. I hope the bleeding will slow down when I'm soft. I waddle around the door frame, around the bathroom door, still holding it. Are you okay? What happened? I don't hear anything for a moment.
I thought I was gonna puke.
Did you puke?
No.
Just warn me next time. You nicked me. They sigh.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
No, it's fine. Are you okay?
Yeah.
They don't sound sure of themselves at all.
Are you
sure?
Yes.
Are you gonna come out?
In a minute.
Do you want me to get anything for you?
I think I want to go home.
Yeah, of course. Just give me a second. I need to find a band-aid or something.
I just feel bad about that.
It happens. Don't worry about it. Was that it? Was that that was it?
Oh, wait, huh? Was that it? Wait. Hello?
When's the next chapter? Was that... Wait, that really it? Hold up. That was only 2 chapters, right? That's it for now? Oh. Wait, hold up. What if I say read later? Will it just go to credits? Yeah, we'll just go to credits. Alright. So... Okay. Honestly, I can relate to Max now, because... Like, I've done that before for my first time. I was that nervous. It happened. It honestly happens. I feel bad. I feel bad for them for that. I'm just like, I don't know. Damn. Well, let me check when the next, if they updated already. Hold up. Because I don't think I've updated this file yet. No, chapter 2 was just updated 37 days ago, so there's no update currently. Yeah, chapter 2 was March 8th. But yeah. So let's see, it's 1:35 now. I mean, it's a perfect time to end on the YouTube end. We could take our hour break here to eat lunch and walk the dogs. But yeah, for those on the YouTube end, thank you for watching. Honestly, this is going to be honestly quite interesting to play out. I would love to play more of these chapters in the future. But for now, I'm gonna post this also in our Twitch chat so the peeps can do the same thing. So with that being said, we're gonna end the YouTube end, and we are going to go. We're gonna go on our hour break. For those in the Twitch, if you would like to see more of those visual novels and some past ones, head on over to my YouTube page. If I type in YouTube, should the link pop up? Nope, it doesn't pop up anymore because I've deleted it for some reason. 1 second. You can head over to the YouTube page right here. So, with that being said, thank you for watching on YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me, what was your favorite part of Chapter 2 so far? So, for both ends, we are going to take a 1 hour break to walk the dogs and make sure it's not too hot outside. And yeah, because it's currently 69 degrees, so hopefully it's not that hot, but it should be fine walking weather. When we return, we'll play something short, and around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, GMT -5, we will be playing some games with the boyfriend. So yeah, everyone, stand up, stretch, get some water, get some food, get something to drink. It's been a hot minute. We will be right back in 1 hour. And on YouTube, I'm gonna say it one more time, Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified on future visual novel playthroughs. Most likely, after June, we will start posting videos again. So yeah, we'll see you guys soon. BRB. Hoot hoot!